Good afternoon, everyone. Let me just try to use this. There we go. Just want to give everybody a moment to come in. I know you're going to do this. Hey, Tia B, welcome. Just want to give everybody about 5 minutes or so to come in. Materials too. I think that's a little too far overhead. Because what I see here is not necessarily what you see here. I just realized I got purchased this month. I've been working on Pixie. Oh, okay. No worries, it's here when you're ready. This design is very, very tedious. So, yeah, and today we're working on the accessories. If you thought that the halter top and the skirt was tedious, the beach ball, oh my gosh. Good afternoon, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you from India. Welcome. So, my name is Aniqua, and I am the artist and designer behind My Kind of Thing, a handmade company that specializes in creating one-of-a-kind handmade dolls, particularly dolls of color, and even more specifically black and brown dolls. And the mission here is to promote pride and confidence in children of color, particularly girls, and even more specifically black and brown girls in efforts to combat self-hate. We are currently working on Summer Night. Don't mind her eyes. They're not permanently fixed, so she does look a little confused. No problem. The videos are uploaded here on YouTube, so you can definitely watch the replays. Today, we are working on her accessories. And while doing the third iteration, thank you, being that this is the third iteration, while working on it, I kind of discovered a color combination, hey Patricia, that I'm just like, I like it, and I am going to use it. Okay, bye, Abu. I hope I'm saying your name right. Abu. But the thing is, if you thought that creating the skirt and the halter top was tedious, the beach ball is the real MVP of tediousness. What type of vinyl do you use to cut the whites of the eyes? The same kind of vinyl I use for the color. It's all the same vinyl, pretty much. I use, I don't know if it has a name, but it's it's vinyl with a fabric backing or canvas backing. It's not the, I don't know, because I never use iron on, or at least I don't use iron on. I don't iron on vinyl. Even though I might have had some vinyl that was iron on, I don't iron it on. Because I don't trust the iron or heat to yarn. I just don't. I don't trust myself with it. I don't trust it, so I don't do any iron on. But it's vinyl with a fabric backing, or it can be described also, or it is sometimes described as faux leather. But so we have now worked on the first 3 parts of this design, which is the head and body, the wig cap, the ears. Let me show you all. We've done now the head and body, the wig cap and ears. We have done the limbs, which was part 2. And we have also done the clothing. Clothing was yesterday's live, which was supposed to be on Friday, but because of delays with the flight, I had to reschedule it for yesterday. So we were here live yesterday. And so the clothing was yesterday's part 3, right? The top, the skirt, the shoes or sandals, right? And the hair is for you to do at your own level or own pace, because the hair is 40 braids that you have to create individually. And then, now today part 4 is our accessories. As you can see from the thumbnail, the accessories include the beach bag, the beach ball, the visor, the sun visor, and the hair bow. Now, like I said, if you felt like the skirt and top was tedious, hey, Giovanna, then I promise you, the beach ball takes the cake. Takes the cake for all of it. But I started off with the visor because I was trying to, again, be an overachiever, trying to stay on task and on track and not fall behind. So I did start the visor yesterday after we ended here. And just a little reminder of how we're going to be doing things, because I'm learning as I go, as we're doing these lives on YouTube, right? We're going to do about 45 minutes to an hour. And then we're going to take like a 5-minute intermission where I'm going to end the live and then come back in about 5 minutes, 5 to 8 minutes. That'll give you time to take a break and maybe get some water, use the restroom, all of that wonderful stuff. Because I realized I probably should have been doing this when we were doing lives on Facebook and whatnot. But, you know, we learn as we go. Because I realized too, in Facebook it's more like us who are familiar and, you know, we kind of know each other. And so we, you know, we're more comfortable. But I feel like this and the way we're doing this is a little bit more public. And so, you know, others might not be as familiar with how we're accustomed to doing things. So, you know, and I just think it's really good to take a break too in between, because we've always gone really, really straight. So, welcome everybody. Wow. Okay, Giovanna, you are ahead of the game. Meanwhile, I'm contemplating whether or not I'm going to do another beach ball. I'm going to do another beach bag, but I don't know if I want to do another beach ball. You know what? Let me move this. Okay. So, just want to get comfy because we're going to crochet together. Are y'all ready? Do you have your materials? Of course, I do not have all of my materials because I came all the way out here and I don't scissors. But I started doing the visor, and I'm gonna tell you, just a little sneak peek, right? Just a little sneak peek. I started doing this visor and this color arrangement, and ignore the blue. But there was something really, really cool about the yellow, orange, pink, and purple that made me think of like sunset. And I'm thinking that might be our next color scheme. And this really pretty order, you know, the orange, pink, purple. It's weird. And mind you, again, I'm going in order, but you know, sometimes you go back and forth. So, you know, but as long as the order's fine, it doesn't matter whether you're going pink, orange, yellow, green, yellow, what is it? Pink, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, or purple, blue, green. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really interesting to see how just moving in one direction or the other, it changes. So, but you know what? Let me go run in and get my hooks really quickly. Because I came all the way out here, thought I had everything as usual, and did not. So give me one moment. But get your materials together, chat amongst yourself, let me know where you are as far as this design is concerned. I'm like moving a little slowly because I was drinking double Dutch last night, and it has come to my attention that myself and gravity are in a battle. Me and gravity, we got beef. So yeah, me and gravity. I don't know how you feel about gravity, but me and gravity ain't on good terms. And because me and gravity ain't on good terms, I feel away. But I was all right. I did all right. Still not horrible. Like, it's not crazy horrible. But I'm like, man, something about doing something that you used to do so easily not being easy is kind of humbling. So just gonna put my feet up, make sure I'm not missing any comments, make sure I got everything. Hair is a little wet, so I don't want to have it too up. So it needs to dry. All right, are y'all ready? Are we ready? Does anybody have any questions before we get started? Anything that, I know Patricia, did you see the messages, the responses that I gave you for your questions about carrying the yarn? So for the color changing, I still don't. Okay, yeah, we're not doing the carrying. First off, there's two reasons why carrying it through. For one, the top is not necessary to carry it through because you're only using each color once anyway, so you don't need to carry it through. But for the skirt, you're also only using the color, each color is used 3 times. You don't want to carry the yarn that far and that much. Like, once you finish with the 2 rows, the single and the multiple stitches, cut it off, leave it hanging. I know it looks like a lot of work, but I promise you it's so much better. Don't try to carry it, because it'll make the skirt bulky and stiff, and like you said, you'll see the yarn through the stitches. So yeah, don't carry it, just cut it every time you end it. Each time you end it, cut it and add it brand new. Yeah, because again, carrying it, it'll show through. Even if you're really good at covering it up and it doesn't show through, it stiffens it and it makes it thicker and unnecessarily thicker. Fair Isle, I thought when I first saw your question, I thought you were referring to the beach ball. For the beach ball, don't cut because you keep having to pick it up. For the beach ball, when you're finished with the color and you change it to the new color, just put the other color down. When you get back around to the color, pick it back up and pull it towards you. Don't pull it so that it's tugging. Just pick it up and, you'll have like strings, but it's on the inside, so it doesn't matter. That technique is called Fair Isle. Whenever you see somebody that has a design and it's a whole bunch of color changes and all of that, and then they turn it around and there's all these strings and whatnot, that's the Fair Isle technique. It is a way of changing colors repeatedly and whatnot without the trouble or the hassle of dragging it along with you. Which ultimately, again, when you're dragging it along and you're crocheting over it and bringing it with you, it stiffens, and crochet already is a thick, stiff kind of, creates a stiff kind of fabric. So you don't want to add to that unnecessarily. So, yeah. With that being said, let us get started. So, like I said, I started on my visor. It's time for me to change the color to green. Yeah, it's not even necessary to carry it. Like this particular design, carrying it is extra work for no reason. It doesn't make your work easier. I know that we don't like tucking the strings, after we're done. But sometimes tucking the strings it's just part of doing a good job, and part of the neatness, and it's part of the task of making something really cool. So let me make sure I got all my kind of string yarn. If you are new here, welcome. If you would like to participate in this crochet together, at any time you can click the link in the description, and the link will take you to the landing page where all of the information you need is there. The link to purchase the pattern. There is also a link there to purchase the companion pack that includes all of the yarn that you'll need to create this really colorful, fun design. And so, yes, at any given point, these things will be available here on YouTube unless YouTube does what Facebook is currently doing, which is giving an expiration date to live. I don't think that's a thing here, but this is what we do here. Let me make sure. Okay. So I'm like, from what I can see, my hands aren't visible. But so for part 4, we are creating the accessories. That's the sun visor hat, the hair bow, the beach bag, and the beach ball. Yeah. And as I mentioned, I already started on the visor yesterday when we finished, because I wanted to kind of, not fall behind. And so, let me see how much we can do on camera today. But does anybody have any questions? Anything that maybe was giving you a hard time that you need further explanation on? See, same thing with this visor, Patricia. I'm only using each color once, so I'm not carrying the yarn through. Same thing with the bag. When I get to the bag, even though the colors are used twice, it just doesn't make sense to bring them all along you know, as you move up from color to color. You know, sometimes it's easier to just cut and fasten off and start, you know. Like I only tuck a little bit, and then when I am done, I go in with the scissors and I clip it right there. And I believe this is the last row of the visor. And like I said, my hair is a little damp. So I'm trying to air dry it. My hair takes forever to air dry. So I believe that's the last. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Funny thing about this, right, is it looks like a sweatband, right, without the brim, right? It definitely could be a sweatband. But we're gonna add the brim that turns it from a sweatband into a visor. I'm gonna use a little darning needle to hide these strings. This is really, okay, I mean, if you have a question, you can ask now. That's what we're here for, Giovanna. You don't necessarily have to wait until we get to that point. If it's about the design that we're working on, whether it's something that we've done already, something that we're gonna do. So, because I know that you're ahead, because you're ahead, you don't have to wait until we all catch up. Because somebody might have the same question or need the same information. And do me a favor, all of you that are here, make sure you hit the like button on the video. It is my understanding that when you hit the like button, it allows for other people who don't know we out here to see that we out here. How's my sound? Is my sound good? Y'all hear me all right? Oh, it's about the visor. Oh, okay. I mean, I'm on the visor. And I'm about to do the brim now. Once I tuck these strings the way they need to be tucked. Okay. Just want to make sure because I know sometimes I sound low, and as Yolanda calls it, my Monday voice. Okay. So here is the visor. And as you can see, this is where the color changing is happening. So it is the back. This will not be in the front. Now I could have done this to where it doesn't show so visibly, but this This is like my third time doing all of this. I don't care that much.
Play it over at. I'll call you back at 6. I'm 6.
So we're going back to the main color, which for this design is, for me, I picked yellow. That's Auntie Pam. So, because yellow is the main color, yellow is also the color that I started with. The pattern says going back down to the main color where we started. What we're going to do is using the main color starting on the 20th stitch from where the row started. So back where we started the row, you see, I can see it, of course you can see it. It's not necessary really, but just for evenness, because the way I did it, I did math. So it is kind of like 1/3 of the entirety of the hat. And so on the 20th stitch from where you started on row 1, and only in the front loops, right? So let's count, and let me just make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So on the 20th or after the 20th? On the 20th from where you started. So, so you know that I'm accustomed to just, so it's always funny. Okay, so on the first stitch, well, the first stitch we're doing is on the 20th from where we started. It's 2 single crochets, so it's an increase. So 1 and 2 in there, right? And we're working in the front loops only. And first single crochet, okay, yeah. So 2 single crochet and the first 2 stitches. So the first one and the second one. So that's that. Hold on, let me slide this over. And then half double crochet in the next 2 stitches, right? And we're still in the front loops only. This whole row is worked in the front loops only. And then, and I don't know why I wrote it like this, row 7, row 8, because it's not really. It would only be that if we started with the brim first, which is an option actually. And then double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So double crochet in the next 2 stitches. And then treble crochet in the next 3 stitches. So boom, 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 right? 1, 2, and 3, right? And then 2 treble crochet in the next 2 stitches, right? 2 treble crochet in the next. So that's like the treble crochet increase. And keep in mind, again, this whole thing is done in the front loops only. So It's very important because if you don't do it in the front loops only, your brim will go down, and then it's not a brim, it's just a flat, and you don't want that, right? So then double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So basically we're going back, working the opposite way, right? Half double crochet in the next, hold on. Uh-oh. Does this pattern have an issue? Something missing? Wait a minute. Does look like it's missing those 2 double crochets. Oop. Oh. I'm crocheting a sun visor hat for my summer night crochet design. Hold on. I caught a mistake. There is a mistake. Uh-oh. Now I gotta look at the first one. Because ain't no way I did the mistake. I probably wrote the mistake, but I didn't do the mistake. Hold on, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, I wrote the mistake. I did not make the mistake. Okay. So in your patterns, really, really important. It says half double crochet in the next 2 stitches after treble crochet in the next 3 stitches. There is the double crochets missing. So what you're going to do is just do a note. When I fix it, once we're done, I'll send you with every modification, like the modification for the wig cap, the modification for the head, and this correction. If you are MKTU student, then you probably caught the mistake and fixed it. Because you understand reciprocity. If we started off that way, we have to end that way, in that order. So when you see that, you'll realize, you know, if you have been paying attention and learning from the MKTU, the reciprocity is really important. So even if you see the mistake, you might have been able to see like, uh-oh, you know, she made a mistake. So double crochet in next 2 stitches, right? Then half double crochet in the next 2 stitches, and 2 single crochet in each of the remaining 2 stitches. Now I wonder if that 26 stitch situation is still the right count, because now that I'm thinking about it, when I was doing this, I was like, why are the numbers weird? So we're gonna find out though. No matter how many times I do a thing, boy. 1, 2, 3. Because now I'm like, no wonder I was having difficulty with the numbers adding up. Again, I don't necessarily do the mistake. Sometimes I write a mistake, even if I do something different. And that's why I always have to kind of go back and check certain things, because even when things look right, they might actually be right, or even vice versa. Like it might be right on paper and wrong in the writing. I mean, wrong in the action, but it's usually right on the design and wrong in the writing, because me doing is faster than me writing. Okay, so let's see. You said you have 24 stitches. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 26 stitches. So it is 26 stitches. I have 26 stitches. You had 24? You probably had 24. Oh, okay. Understand, that's a lot of writing. Yeah. So you should have 20. So see, the count is right. But that piece was missing, which says to me that I did it right on paper. I mean, I did it right on the design. But when I went to go write it, I didn't include that part. So the count is right. And if that count is right, then that means the remaining rows should also be correct. We'll see though. Because whatever ain't, we're going to find out together. That's the cool thing about crocheting together, right? So for row 8, we're going to chain 1 and turn. That chain 1 counts as our first single crochet stitch. Y'all know that it's written that way for a reason. You know, I know that some people are accustomed to the chain 1 not being included, but for this, it is. It's important that it is. 2 single crochet in the next stitch. So boom and boom, and then single crochet in the next 20 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Oh, because I increased, now it's supposed to decrease. Sorry, yeah. See, I'm like, why do I have extra stitches? Sorry, it's not an increase, it's a decrease. I don't know why. It's actually not increase on the next stitch. It's 2 single crochet together on the next stitch. So, and I'm not doing the invisible decrease because currently the side that it's on is the wrong side. If I had done the invisible decrease on this side, it would definitely not be invisible on the right side. So this is where you are to know that when you can and should use an invisible decrease versus just a regular decrease. And you know what? There's so much writing on this page. I'm losing my place too often. Okay, that's better. That makes way more sense. I tell you, I'm horrible with following patterns, even my own. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, decrease, and then single crochet and the remaining stitch, right? That's what that says, right? Yep. Oh, another error. Didn't even put that there. 2 single crochet together. See, that's what I'm saying. Y'all wasn't gonna say nothing, right? Y'all was just gonna let it rock. And see. Tell you, and it's crazy because again, now I gotta look. Did I do that with this one? I should have, because again, the end result is 24 stitches, which is true. I decreased on the first and on the beginning and the end. I decreased twice, which means that 26 minus 2 is 24. I'm telling you, sometimes the writing is my issue. But yeah, because again, and here's the thing, if I had made the mistake on the actual visor, then I would have seen the mistake, because this actually is how you get that shape. If you don't do this, you will not get the shape. You will see that it doesn't do the exact bending. And that's why it's really important for you to understand what you're looking at. Don't just do what the designer says. Row 9 and 10 is missing the decrease also. Thank you. That's probably because I copied and pasted to save time, and I copied and pasted the mistake. But even though it's written wrong, it's not done wrong. So I'm going to update this, and I don't think there shouldn't be any other issues with this pattern. Yeah, there shouldn't be any other issues with this pattern, because and I say that there could be, there shouldn't be, but this evening I'm going to send the updated version, because there are some people that aren't up to this point yet, and so I want to catch them before they make the mistake. So yeah, that's because you're an alumni, Giovanna. You know, for some of you, you'll be able to see it and be like, okay, right, because you did the beach ball too, and you didn't see any mistake. But here's the thing, Giovanna, sometimes you see the mistake and you just innately do what you know, and you don't necessarily even acknowledge the mistake. So it could still be a mistake somewhere, but because of how our brains work, especially if you're used to the designer that you're working with, and in this case, you know, you're familiar with how I do things, so you know kind of like what to do, even if it doesn't necessarily say it on paper. Okay, it should be. I feel really good about it because of the amount of, I had to write really, really details, really, really important, or I had to write a lot of tedious stuff for the beach ball. So whenever I have to do that, I'm usually doing that in complete silence and focus, and so there shouldn't be any mistakes. Also, because of the frequency of the color change, I didn't really have room to kind of improvise. The beach bag is good too, and that's the thing, I made a mistake with the beach bag and I had to go and correct it before I even, so I feel good about that too. I could say the visor, because the visor, I was experimenting with the visor because the original brim I didn't like. So let's see. All right, so it's looking like, excuse me, 9 and 10 should be all right. But we're gonna see. I mean, well, you said, I just mean like the number, the count of the end. Right, so for row 9, chain 1 and turn, that chain 1 counts as the first single crochet, and then, oh, we're decreasing again. Okay. Decrease again, and then we are going to single crochet in the next 18 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Decrease. Sneaky snake. Okay, let me just case. And that's the thing. What I'm doing here is not even where the actual original pattern is. This, same thing, yeah, like you said. Tell you, I don't know. You can let it do what it do. The count is right though. The writing was wrong. And so, like I said, when we're done, I'm gonna send this out as an updated version for everybody that has the other one, because I don't think that a lot of us are even up to this point. Most of us might be delinquent, so might have been able to catch them early before they go into this and do this. And I'm gonna tell you, I have to apologize for those mistakes, because when taking on a design that's this tedious and that requires this much time and attention, mistakes can be discouraging, right? All this color changing and all of that, right? When you go to do it and you're like, oh, I'm not getting this number, or I don't understand why I'm not getting this shape. It's a really, really good way to, for people to get discouraged and lose interest. So hopefully y'all are still on track and y'all have not gotten up to that point and feel like, oh, this is crazy, you know? Okay. That's my cousin Jovi. He's a movie star, not a movie star, but a really amazing entertainer. Remember when I was telling y'all about that sings and dances and stuff? Superstar! I always brag about you, Jovi. Yeah. But let's see, we're on row 10 now, right? 7, 8, yes, row 10. Okay, I've made the corrections to what I'm looking at. Then I gotta send these corrections to the one that's here. That's all right. We're making it do what it do. We're making good progress. We're almost done with the visor. Okay, so now that chain 1 and turn again, right? And that chain 1 counts as your first single crochet. And now we're going to decrease again. Oh, you know, I keep saying this. I know I wrote it. But because I be doing so many different things and so many different times, and sometimes I be like, what were you doing here? Not a decrease. I don't remember all of that. Okay. Single crochet in the next 16 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Decrease. And then single crochet in the remaining stitch. Huh. All right, now hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I'm looking at this and I'm feeling away. I'm feeling away. Yeah, because something 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What did I do wrong or differently? I skipped something's missing. Because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows for the brim here, and only 4 rows for the brim here. Did I miss something? 1, 2. You know what I might have? Oh crap. There's supposed to be 5 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Ah, what did I do? Because I'm like, why am I ending up on the wrong side? I'm not supposed to be ending up on the wrong side. And now I don't know. It's a row afterwards. I think, you know what I think? I think row 8, the one after 7, was supposed to just be a regular single crochet row. Because that's what it looks like here, I think. No. Or, yeah, no, 1, 2. Two, 3, 4, 5. This is crazy. This is a big mistake. Yeah, that's a whole row missing. No. I knew it looked crazy because I'm like, why? Do I not remember this going in this way? Because I felt like I had to take it out and do it whatever back and forth. There's a missing row. So this is what we're going to do. Improvising right now on camera, whatever. Like, we just going to let it, we won't let it do what it do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to insert after the first row, just a regular row. Because I feel like that's what that should be. This is what happens when you don't write things down on the first try, which again, I told you I didn't love the brim for the first one. I do like this one, and based off of what I'm looking at here, based on what I'm looking at here, no, wait, yeah. Based on what I'm looking at here, somewhere in all of this, there was a regular row. Yeah, there was a regular row. The regular row. The regular row was the last row. So actually, after row 9, after row 10. No, after row 9, no. Hold on, look at me. After row 10, the last row, there's supposed to be a row of just single crochet. So hold on, let me fix this. Oh my God. Row 11. It's ridiculous. Listen, for those of you who are new here, I promise you I know what I'm doing. Ask them, they know. Yvonne, to tell them. Don't let them think I don't know what I'm doing. I promise you, this doesn't even happen. Let them know. I am a professional. I am an expert. I promise you. So we're going to chain 1 and turn. That counts as the first single crochet stitch. I'm sorry. Thank you, Giovanna. Tell her. This is not something that usually happens. I'm mad because I just took that whole thing out and I didn't have to. I literally only had to just add the row. This is ridiculous. Hold on, let me just make sure that this is written down correctly. That's crazy. I promise you I'm a professional. I do know what I'm doing. And STILCTH. And you should have 20 single crochet stitches for that row. It happens sometimes. It is a rare occurrence, so I will say that. Like, it doesn't happen often, but every now and then you gotta go in there and be like, hold up, I made a mistake. So if you're in here and you're new, and you feel like, oh, here she goes, I promise you, I got proof that I'm a professional and I know what I'm doing. Check the videos on this channel, and you can check me out on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and TikTok and what's the other ones, and Pinterest. I'm on Pinterest hard too. So don't let that mistake fool you. I be knowing. So I'm so mad I took all of that out and I didn't have to. Okay, so as it stands, there are 5 rows of the brim, not 4. Apparently, when I was redoing it and taking out and redoing it, I did not do that last row. I didn't write it down, because you are to end, your last row should be to where the visor is on the right side, because that last row you also have to go all the way around with a slip stitch to further solidify the visor shape and whatnot. So I'm just saying, I know what I'm doing. I'm serious. I promise. I promise I do. All right. And if anybody's saying anything bad about me, they're liars. So let me just do this real quick. Does anybody have any questions? And then if I want to add the single crochet. The thing is, if you don't add the single crochet, because it'll be like that, it'll curl it in the wrong direction, maybe. Yeah, it'll curl it down, you know? So you might want to, but did you go all the way around? Because if you went all the way around with the slip stitch, maybe not. I don't know, because the other thing too is that extra row was needed because the visor seemed a little short. I'm sorry. Look, that's the downside to being an overachiever, or, you know, ahead of the game, right? If ever there's a downside to moving ahead, right? But no, if it's okay with you, like, don't trip. I told you I made a mistake with the other design, the second version sandals. Instead of doing the slip stitch for the toe of the sandals, I did a single crochet stitch, and I was wondering why it didn't dip the way. I wasn't really wondering why it didn't dip. I was wondering, thinking to myself, like, why didn't you make this dip? You did make it dip, you just didn't do it, you know? So that was the issue. But if you're okay with what it looks like, if you like it, leave it. Like, only you, and that's where I kind of gotta argue with myself sometimes, like fixing mistakes that only I see or know. Right. Yeah, if you love it, leave it, you know? I think those things are, they're kind of like, those mistakes are also going to be markers. Like, I think about it in terms of just being an artist, right? When I'm like dead and gone or something, right? And some like little young person is studying doll art or some crap like that, and they're like, oh, that's an original Aniqua. You know how you could tell? Because the signature blah 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 that she does, or in this particular design, this one, this is how you know it's the original, because in this particular design she made the mistake of using a single crochet stitch here where it should have been a slip stitch. You know, when you're looking at people who are really into art and stuff, and they know how to spot a fake from a, you know, so maybe it'll be one of those situations, right? My mistake is my signature on this particular piece that is really, really popular and world renowned. So, you know, if it's a mistake that only you would know and it doesn't do anything to the shape of the design and all of that, you could totally leave it. And I say that as somebody who feels really, really anxious about mistakes. I call that growth. Because normally I'll be like, take it out. You gotta take it out. You can't keep that there. But why not? You're the only one that knows it's there. coffee went down the wrong pipe. But yeah, if you feel like you need to add it, you can always add it. You're a professional. You got it. You know? That smells delicious, by the way. That garlic?
Yes.
I love the smell of garlic. That's how you know I'm not a vampire. No, but you definitely can leave a mistake in. So, me and all of my going all ahead and whatnot, now I just put back the stitches I unnecessarily, the rows that I unnecessarily took out. And you know what? In the next 10 minutes, we are going to take our 5 to 8 minute intermission. And, you know, you take your bathroom break, get some water, something like that. In about 10 minutes. Because I realized too, these lives, they take forever to upload. And I'm going to use that time to make sure that everybody else knows that we are here and we're working on part 4, because that's another good use of the intermission instead of trying to do straight 2-3 hours non-stop. I don't know who I be thinking I am, but I be doing it. And I think the reason why I added that row was because I was still working on the shaping of it, because that really aggravated me. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. What the heck? 1, 2, 4. What the heck? Now my math isn't adding up. The pattern is fine. It's me. Let's see. Did I decrease that? Oh, did you not decrease here? Let's see. One, 2, 3. Oh, yeah, you didn't decrease here. Ridiculous. And that's why the counts are important. Because when you're not paying attention and you're trying to get a certain number, that number at the end really matters. There are some designers who do not like to put the count at the end. I don't understand how you don't. It is, and this is no shade to anybody who doesn't, but the reason why it's important to know what that count is because without knowing what that count should be, there's no check for whether or not I'm on the right track. So the count at the end really does make it so that you are on the right track without having to always count. You know, it serves as like a checks and balancing kind of thing. Because if you're not getting a count, or you're not able to do what the pattern says to do on a certain row, it is highly likely because you made a mistake somewhere else down the line and the math isn't adding up. So you have to be very mindful of that, right? Yeah. Right, so here we go. 8, 9, 10. Okay. So I should have 16 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and then decrease, and then single crochet in the last stitch. Right? Now, the pattern only goes up to row 10, but row 11 of the brim, technically, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know why I wrote it that way. Yeah, I'm gonna fix that. Because I don't think I wrote it this way. And, yeah, I'm gonna fix that. And like I said, I'll make these corrections and I'll send it to you because sometimes how you write a thing can also be confusing. And it just helps to be mindful of that. And I don't even usually use the laptop to do this. But I gotta do it while I see it because if I don't do it while I see it, I am going to forget or not remember specifically what should be done at that point. Hook. So instead of it saying 8, 9, 10, and 11, because technically it's not, the only way it's 8, 9, 10, and 11, it still would be 8, 9, 10, and 11 is if we started with the brim first, which is another way of doing this. You can start with the brim first, working backwards. So we would do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then on the last row we would, but we're not doing that. That's a thing for another thing. But yeah, and like I said, I will email this with all of its corrections made when we are done with this live. Okay, and so row 5, also known as row 11, we're going to chain 1 and turn, and we're just going to single crochet in each stitch, and we should have 20 stitches. Should it be 20? Let's see. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Yes, we're good. Okay. Now, this is where I know some of us don't like to do it, but it's a really good skill to have, to be able to crochet all over around crochet work. And so the instruction says to chain 1 and I'm on the fence about whether or not that chain one counts as a stitch. It doesn't say, oh, it does count as a, oh, there it is. It counts as a stitch. So I remember being confused about whether or not I wanted it to. Single crochet. No, it doesn't. Hold on. We're not on the rows anymore. Sorry. Single crochet. Okay, so no, there is no chain one. It doesn't say chain one. Okay, I'm doing too much. Now we're single crocheting on the sides. I don't know why I'm making so many ridiculous mistakes. Every now and then, you know, can't all be good all the time. Single crochet on the side of the brim. Next 4 stitches. Now that's not true. That should be the next 5 stitches because there's 5 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let me fix that. And this is why it's really important to pay attention because now I know that count is wrong. Slip stitch in the front loops only of the hat portion. So we're going to single crochet in the side of each of the 5 rows we just made. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? And now we are going to slip stitch in the front loops only of the hat portion, okay? And you don't want to do the slip stitches too tight because the slip stitch does not give, which means that if you slip stitch it too tightly, the hat will struggle to fit, okay? So be careful. Just a basic slip stitch, loosely. I mean, I don't want to say too loose, but you know, don't make it crazy. You know, don't have your tension be extremely or super tight. You know, just just enough. Probably should have been counting, right? Because what I have here is the next 20 stitches. So I don't know. Let's see. Based on the amount of rows, right? Again, careful with these slip stitches. Don't make them too tight because if you make the slip stitches too tight, the hat won't fit the head. Or it'll be squeezing her head. Keep in mind, right, and this is just because I'm being lazy about counting. The brim was 54 stitches, right? The thing about the 54 stitches is, right, you started on the 20th stitch, so that means 19 stitches and 19, because I believe there was 19 on either side before the brim. 19 and 19 is 28, right? Yeah, that's what it'll say right there, 28. 19 and 19 is 28, so that means on this side up there and this side up there, it should be 19, right? And then there's the That is so crazy. Yeah, that whole row 5 is a myth. Row 5 is a myth. That is not what I did. Take out row 5. I just realized why. Why row 5 is a myth. Row 5 is a myth because it doesn't exist. I'm like, why does it look like that? There's a reason why it looks like that. This is what happens when you don't follow your own directions. Because, we are supposed to go back, we're supposed to go down the side. Yeah. Turn. Before, now crochet, go down the side. Right. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. After you finish row 4, I don't know how the heck I did it on the visor that allowed me to be on the right side and to continue in that manner. Right side, long side, right side, long side, right side. I don't remember what I did. And apparently I did not write it down. Okay, what's happening? You know what? And I don't know how to undo that. So maybe 5 is not a myth? No, it can't be. Row 5 is not a myth. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna just leave that there. Because row 5 is supposed to be done, and then you go down. Okay, I'm ODing. 1, 2. Yeah, you're supposed to, for row 5, single crochet, chain 1 and turn. And all of that now working on the side and around the whole visor. And around the whole visor. Like, yeah, row 5 is supposed to include all of that. Single crochet in the first, chain 1 and turn, single crochet in the next 19 stitches, right? And then now working on the side. Because I'm like, yeah, I'm supposed to go all the way around and come back to this. So row 5 is not a myth, I'm sorry. So now working on the side, single crochet on the side of that row that you just finished too, by the way. My apologies, I promise y'all know what I'm doing. Because I've done it now, 2. 3, 4, and 5. I don't know why I'm just like, now when I go all the way around and back up and I get here, that's where I fasten it off. I do remember doing that, so like let me stop acting like I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, and 34. Alright. And remember, around here is 34 slip stitches because the brim consisted of 20 stitches. Right? So 24 plus 30 is 54. That is the circumference stitch count. Okay, now on the sides of the other side of the brim. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we cut and fasten off. And the way we do that is we create that little faux stitch. I tell you, I don't remember doing it this way though. So I don't know. Because that one doesn't have this here. And I do remember working on this side. So I don't know. You know, sometimes you do a thing and and here's the thing. I don't remember where I started. I'm like where I ended. I feel like it seems like I didn't end here. But I honestly, that's a sign that I did too good of a job with the connection or the disconnect, because I can't even look at my own work and tell where I started, like where I ended. And normally that's a great thing, but in this instance of did I write it down right? I don't know. So yeah, so we're gonna cut and fasten that off, and we're gonna create that cool little faux stitch. But does anybody have so I need, okay, oh I'm sorry, I missed your comments on Giovanna. Okay, I'll try it on the dark sleeve if you see my big part. Love it though. Row 11 is that single crochet stitch for the brim, but around the actual hat portion, it's a slip stitch. But like I said, when I end this, when we're done for the day, I will absolutely send out the modified version. And I need to put that row back because I took it off and I need to put it back. Yeah, because see, it looks boxy to me, and it didn't look boxy. It doesn't look boxy on the other one, so I'm trying to figure out what was done, and I may have to take that one out just to see what I did. And once I figure out that, then I will put the because I don't understand why or what I did. Because I don't remember ending over here, and I also don't remember this looking like this. It's like a point here, and I don't like that. And the only thing I can think of is maybe, did I decrease? Because maybe if I decreased, it wouldn't look like this. But yeah, I'm only decreased. Let me see what the count is. Hey Zay, welcome. Before we start going down, did I increase? Let's see. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I think there might have been an increase at the end and not a decrease, or not just regular. Increase, that's what it's looking like. That's what it's looking like. I don't know if that's what it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know, and I like this, I don't like this. And I can't explain why this is aggravating me in this manner. I'm gonna take it out and see if adding to it, and my apologies for this, but I don't like that, and I need to figure out what I did that I didn't write down, and that makes it so annoying to me. Are y'all with me? I'm sorry, because I need this to be what I need it to be, and the fact that it's not is really gonna bug me, and I don't like that. Let's see if increasing and the end makes a difference. 1 and 2. Or did I say decrease it? Did I decrease it? No, I didn't decrease. I know that because I would have seen that. Huh. Two. 3, 4. I think that's what I did. I don't think I went into the side of the row that I just finished. Yeah. Okay. That's what the confusion is. Okay. So for row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me tell you what I did. Once I got to the end, I then crocheted on the side of the brim, which was the next 4 stitches like the writing said to do. And single crochet in the next, on the hat, slip stitch in the hat portion. Okay. And here's how I'm gonna know whether or not this works out, because I took off a stitch here. What I had done that made that weird boxy kind of thing happen was that I went into the side of the row 5 that I created, and and that was not supposed to happen. I was supposed to go right down into the previous row, the side of the previous row, not the row that I just created. That's what it was, because I did the same thing when I got to, I didn't go into the side of row 5 at all. That's where I created that faux stitch. So what happens is I was adding stitches where I should not have been adding stitches. Oh, that's going to be interesting to have to explain, but I'm going to do it. So row 5 is not a myth, and we are not going into the sides of row 5 and the other rows. We're not going into the sides of row 5, only into the sides of the other rows. So, and that's what creates the curve on the edge instead of the corner on the edge, because we don't want corners. That's not what the brim is. The brim is not supposed to have corners. It's supposed to be round, like how we like it. I'm gonna tell you, and the other reason why this was giving me fever is because I was literally redesigning it, because I didn't write it down and the doll was sold. So I didn't have it as a reference to even look. And I remember when I initially did it, I didn't love it. So there's that. And now going up the side of the 4 rows. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to create that faux stitch to end this hat. And see, I was adding stitches that weren't supposed to be added. Okay. We got it. We got it. Mm-hmm. You better have it. So you know that chain one that we created to start off that row? That's where we're putting this faux stitch in. And then you know how you're doing something, and as you're doing it, you're like, oh, this feels familiar. That's what's happening literally right now. Like, oh, you did this. This is what you actually did. This that you're doing does not feel foreign. Huh, much better. Okay, and so now we got what we need. Do you see the shape? Reciprocity. Okay. Sorry. Let me correct it and put it right here before I do something and forget. But thank you for your patience and thugging it out with me, because this was crazy. But I promise you, I just don't like when things don't do what I need them to do. So. Row 5 is not a myth. Row 5, chain 1, turn, chain 1, and turn. This counts as your first single crochet of the row. Single crochet, and next 19 stitches, right? Because it's 20 up there. Now, see how on the pattern it says now working on the side and around the whole visor? Single crochet on the side of the brim, which is the next 4 stitches, which is the first 4 rows you did. We're not doing a single crochet in the 5th row on the side of the 5th row. Ignore that. The next 4 rows, then slip stitch around the brim, around the hat completely. Then when you get back to it, single crochet in the remaining 4 stitches, which is the side of the hat. And then, right, okay, so we're good. So 20 up here, 28 right here, then it should be, I think it's 24 right here, because I counted, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Why is it 32? Shouldn't it be 34? I think it's 34 and I'm just counting wrong. Hold on. Because the last time I counted the hat, it's 34 plus 28. Yeah, it's 28. 34 plus 28, what's that, y'all? I'm not good at math in my head. 34 plus 28. It's not 28 stitches at the end. Is it 62? Yeah, 62. 62 stitches. I'm sorry. This is why I don't design on camera. 62 stitches. Am I? Somebody else, just check that for me. I promise you, I'm not slow. So it should be 62 stitches for the whole entire thing. Because remember, the brim is 54 stitches, and you took 20 off the brim, right? 54 take away 20 is 34. So the hat around the brim is 34 stitches. Now we went up the sides, that's 4. 20 across the brim, down to 4 again for the side, that's 28. 34 plus 28 should be 62 stitches when you're done with the brim. Cut and fasten it off. We got it, we're good. It's time for our 5 to 8 minute intermission. Y'all good though? I'm sorry. But I appreciate your patience, because here's the upside to this. I know that it might have been a little bit frustrating to watch me work through this and fix this, but I promise you, one and done. Now that I understand what I was doing and what was missing and what needs to be done, it is fixed in the pattern. When you are up to that point and you are doing what you're doing, just trust and know that it was thoroughly fleshed out, on camera, off camera, figured it out, we're good, that there's no more mistake, and with brim you're going to get what you want or what you need it to be, right? Your brim is going to be really fine because I did all the hard work. So we're going to take a 5 to 8 minute break. I'm going to use that time to get some more water. I'm going to use that time to let the others know that we are here and we are live working on the accessories, and we'll be back in 5 to 8 minutes. So, okay, I'll see you in 5 to 8 minutes, y'all. All right? All right.